Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Local to Me, and we're gonna jump right in today. I don't have time to sit here and goof off like I do normally. We got a packed episode today, and we're going to be talking about the upcoming Bedford Film Festival, which I am really excited. I've heard of it before, and I know it's going into its fifth year, I believe.
Yes, we are on our fifth year now.
Awesome. So I have Angelique here with me, and she's going to be talking with us about the film festival. And also, we are going to have quite a few call-ins today that are going to be sharing with us some of their, what they're doing with the film festival. Several actors that are going to be here in our area in the next week or so. So I want to kind of just start out with, let's talk about the film festival. What is the Bedford Film Festival? And, give us some information about it.
Yeah, hi. So first, I'll introduce myself. My name is Angelique, and I'm the current programmer. I actually grew up in Bedford. I went to elementary school here, middle school, and then I moved to California, where I went to Cal Arts and basically started filmmaking there. And then I heard that there was a local film festival that was getting started here, and they asked me to be involved. So it's basically the Bedford Film Festival is a nonprofit community art program that celebrates and supports local filmmakers in sharing their unique stories. So especially this year, we have some feature films that we'll talk about later, and some special events like Back to the Future with one of the stars that will be here. But for the short films, we're really focusing on local filmmakers, and we have a ton of really talented filmmakers from Roanoke, from Fairfax, from all over Virginia, and a lot of them are students that will be here in person showing their short films, and then we'll be talking about it afterwards. So yeah.
I think that is amazing because, we're always, we've talked about it a lot on the show about how important the arts are. And I think having an event like this here in Bedford, a lot of people think Bedford's such a small town and, there's nothing to, you hear it all the time. There's nothing to do here. It's a small town. But, having something like this film festival where you're seeing some big names coming out, and y'all have put a lot into the programming of this and all the things leading up to it. And it's really exciting.
Yeah. This year's lineup specifically is really exciting. Especially one, we're just, like I said, we are really proud just to be able to support local filmmakers, and being from here myself and then going to Los Angeles to pursue filmmaking. It's nice just to get to do it here and to talk to people who are starting their career here. In general, storytelling and the arts are so important. And this year, I think we had over 200 submissions. Over 200
Wow.
films were submitted to the festival. And it's a lot of hours of watching and, critiquing and all those things to really get a selection of films that will be interesting for the community and is also by the community.
What's some of the criteria they have to kind of go by when they're creating these films? Or is it just kind of they're up to their own creative license?
Yeah, so it's really completely up to them. We have several categories. There's short films, which tends to be a lot of student filmmakers, but not always. There's a lot of really professional short films that have been submitted, documentaries, features, and then there's the different genres. So they can, kind of tag it so we know if it's a comedy or a drama, because we want to kind of keep it balanced. But as far as content, it's completely up to them. And a lot of filmmakers will, submit to multiple festivals. So we really want people to make what they're passionate about and what they, we want them for their voice to basically shine through. And then we kind of have different criteria based on what it is. If it's a student film, there's a slightly different criteria because we really just want to encourage potential and encourage their unique stories.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it's a filmmaker that they're 20 years in the industry and have been doing all of these big films, it's like, our criteria is a little bit different because then we're judging it more on not only the content, but on like the professionalism and the look of it and how entertaining it will be for the audience.
Now, you have some events that are happening kind of leading up to the film festival, which is July the 1st, correct?
Yes. So the main event, the festival, is Saturday, July 1st at Bauer Center for the Arts, starting at 11 a.m. But leading up to that, on Thursday, June 29th, I'm making sure I get my dates right. So celebrity chef Jeremy Miller, who will be talking to us in a few minutes. Jeremy, he will be basically hosting a dinner at Blackwater Creek Venue and Catering here in town. And so he'll talk more about all of that, but he's a really amazing actor. A lot of people know him from Growing Pains. He was one of the stars of that show.
He was Ben Seaver.
Yeah.
One of my favorite shows growing up on the
wow.
Probably dates me, but whatever.
But he's also a really amazing chef. And so he does these like cooking demonstrations and then also dinners. And so tickets are still available for that. They are on our website. And at the end, I'll like go through all the links and wherever we can find everything. But so that is on Thursday night, Thursday, June 29th. And then Friday, June 30th, we're just doing like a little movie trivia night at Beals Brewery right across the street from us. So Beals, they always do their trivia nights, which I love to go to.
I do too. I love their trivia.
I was there last Thursday. We did not win, but it was still fun. So we'll be hosting like a movie trivia event. And so we have some really great prizes. I think first prize, it's a gift basket that not only includes tickets and things to the festival, but also tickets to the Horse and Hound Festival.
Oh, yes.
At the Peaks
of Otter.
Yeah, and some other really cool prizes as well. So we'll have lots of prizes. It is obviously just like theirs, totally free. However, we will like suggest that you donate to the arts program because we are trying to get a children's filmmaking workshop up and running. But other than that, it's totally free. We'll have a lot of fun, a lot of really cool questions and prizes, and then the festival's the next day. So
now, I know you said we're going to talk about the links and things later. The festival's kind of broken into two parts, is what we were talking about earlier. So what are those? What is the cost to attend the film festival if they just want to come out on Saturday?
Yeah. So the general film festival is it's $10, and that is for pretty much all of all of the short films, some of the feature films that we're showing, like Charlie's War. The only film that is not included in that is Back to the Future, because we're doing that with an introduction from the lead actress from that film, Claudia Wells, who will also be talking with us soon. And yeah, so she'll be introducing that one, and we have some special things for that film specifically for Back to the Future, which starts at 6 p.m. And that one is $25, but kids are free.
Okay.
So, because we would definitely want kids to come, and we know it's a little pricier, but again, it's to go towards all the cool stuff we're doing.
Well, I think that if you're in our area, and I mean, for one, if you've never seen Back to the Future, which I don't know where I have a friend of mine who I'm pretty sure hasn't, so I'm going to make sure she comes because she hasn't seen anything I ever ask her if she's seen. But if you've never seen Back to the Future, you should definitely come check it out because this is really cool. Claudia Wells, she played Jennifer, which was Marty McFly's girlfriend in the first Back to the Future. And if you have a kid under the age of 12, come on, bring them, because like I know my daughter loves the 80s, 90s movies I used to love. And it's a classic. Like you just have to come see it. So
it's such a great summer movie as well.
Yeah.
It just feels like a summer blockbuster.
Yes. And I love that you guys are doing this to raise money for potentially having a kids film class here in Bedford at the Bauer Center of the Arts. I think that's amazing. I think more kids should get into that sort of thing younger.
Yeah.
So I love that y'all are doing that.
Yeah, and we were talking about it a little bit earlier. I mean, especially because with the rise of social media, it's, these skills of being able to record yourself and sound and all of these things. It used to be something that was so unique to one industry, but now with social media, if you have any sort of business, you need to have some sort of knowledge, a working knowledge of storytelling and filmmaking and branding and those sort of things. And we really want to make sure that if we do a workshop, that it is accessible and that it is either free or completely affordable for every child. And so that's one of the reasons that that we're really working to raise funds for it, so that we're not leaving any children out, because it's really important for
Right.
everyone to kind of develop these skills.
And I think that's what you see a lot of when I know when I read all these kind of backstories on actors or filmmakers in the industry, and a lot of them, they started in small towns, and that's kind of where they came from, and they worked their way up, and now that's what they're doing with their careers. And it would be great to see more out of our area that are doing the same things. And you guys giving them that platform is great.
Yeah, thank you. And we already have so many. Like I said, I'll try to find their names. We have some VTech students that are showing their films in our festival,
Okay.
and a lot of other local filmmakers. There's a few filmmakers from Roanoke, and they're all younger filmmakers, but their films are really great. They're so much fun. I had a blast working on the programming this year, because there was just a lot of really fun films. I mean, we took a break from the in-person events during the pandemic, and which was unfortunate, but I also think that it really fostered like a lot of creativity in people, because they had to like work with what they had in their house or around them, and you couldn't get out as much. That we had a lot of really creative submissions that you could tell were kind of done during that time.
When do y'all start accepting admissions, through the year? When, like, how long does that process kind of take? Because I'm sure y'all have to get them in, and then, like you said, you have to go through all of the ones that you get.
Yeah, so they start, I think submissions open back up only like a month or two after the festival, because
Okay.
there's like different deadlines. There's like the early bird deadline and the normal, and it just gives us more time to go through each submission if we kind of like tier it, so we don't have like 200 at once.
Okay. Well, so we've already started talking a little bit about some of the things that are leading up to that festival, and one of them is the dinner that we're going to have Chef Jeremy Miller at, and we have him on the phone right now. So good afternoon, Jeremy. Thank you for calling in with us.
Hey there, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, doing good. So I'm so excited to hear that you are coming. Now, you've been to the film festival here before, haven't you?
Yes, this will actually be my second year attending. I was here the very first year for the Bedford Film Festival as well. So
Okay. I thought I
I
had
just
seen
really kind of fell
pictures.
in love with the. Oh yeah, no, I really fell in love with Bedford and with the festival. So yeah, I'm really anxious and looking forward to coming back.
So you are going to be hosting a dinner prior to, and so we wanted to talk to you a little bit about that.
Yes, so I'm hosting kind of the kickoff dinner. It's going to be kind of an exaggerated, larger version of one of my cooking classes that I kind of teach in people's homes, and these kind of party classes that I do. So we put together a wonderful little menu, and I'm going to teach everybody kind of, they get to watch the actual process and cooking the dishes and everything else. The VIP tickets will be sitting right at the table with me as I'm cooking, and will be directly interacting and eating the dishes I cook. And then the chefs at Blackwater Creek Catering are going to be cooking my menu. And then everybody in the audience is also going to get to try and have all the dishes. So yeah, it's
Okay.
going to be a really good time. We have a wonderful menu. We're having poached sweet shrimp in olive oil with basil and mushroom and wild mushroom and asparagus risotto. A beautiful soup with oh man, I'm blanking on that one too. But we're having stuffed pancetta. We're having a braciole, which is a beautiful beef stuffed with prosciutto and provolone and herbs, and then pan fried real quick. It's going to be really, really just a great dinner and a wonderful evening.
So now I'm super bummed. I want to come back from the beach a day early, I think, and come have some dinner with y'all. I was just telling Angelique I'm heading out, and I won't be back until Friday morning. So I'm gonna miss the dinner, which makes me sad. But I think that sounds sounds fabulous, actually. So,
It's going to be very tasty and a really fun evening.
now what are the cost of tickets? I don't know if you know, or Aunt Angelique, what are the cost of the tickets for the dinner?
Yeah, so I think the chef.
I actually don't know the actual cost. I haven't been on the ticket website, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I'm actually unaware. I think they're in the $35 to like $80 range, depending on if it's VIP, but I could be off on that.
Okay.
Please don't quote me on that.
Oh, I think we have Angelique here. She can tell us as well.
Yeah, I do have it in front of me. So the regular tickets for the general dining are $45 now, just because we're kind of I think the early bird ones were the $35. But $45 for the general dining, and then the chef's table tickets are $75.
Okay. And you still have openings for both?
So I think we only have like 4 of the chef's table tickets left. So
Okay.
if you would like to get those, definitely buy them soon.
Yeah.
They are right on our website. They're linked on the homepage. Just press get tickets, and it'll give you a link to all the tickets for the events. So there's only a few chef's table ones left, but we do have the general dining. We have some general dining ones still available.
Awesome. So Jeremy, let me ask you, because I know, of course, most people know you as Ben Seaver from Growing Pains.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start cooking? Like when did you start doing the chef thing?
Well, I actually kind of grew up doing it. My grandmother had a restaurant, and on the hiatuses during the summer when we weren't filming, I would actually start going up there at 11 years old or so, 10 years old, and started working at the restaurant with my grandmother. So I worked my way up from a busboy to a breakfast cook in about 3 years, going up there every summer. And I just kind of fell in love with it. I always had a passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
And after I went to college and started trying to work my way back into the industry, because I had taken a break to go to college, I found the doors weren't open. They weren't open like they were before, and it was a little harder to get filming work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just looking at something a little more consistent and something that I could, still be passionate about and enjoy. And I decided I was going to go to culinary school. So probably 24 years ago, 23 years ago, I started culinary school, and I've been cooking professionally now for probably 18 years.
Wow. Okay. That's really interesting. You always like to kind of see, of course we sit here, we watch you on screen, but it's, people don't have to realize that you guys have lives outside of what we see, because you're not really Ben Seaver,
Mm-hmm.
so it's I always think it's interesting.
Well, it is. And, I'm very lucky that I have 2 passions, because I still act, I still do projects when they come up. I'm still lucky enough to have people who remember, and I'll get calls, saying, "Hey, I've got this script. I wrote this part with you in mind. Would you be willing to do it?" And I'll take a look, and if it's something that looks good, then absolutely. And I get to go work, and I get to go film, and I do my acting. But then when that's not coming around as often, I still have my cooking, and I'm very happy behind the stove as well. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling in and talking with us and sharing, about the dinner that you're going to be, doing here in Bedford. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to make it out to see you guys either Friday night or Saturday. So unfortunately, I won't get to have the food, but if you have a doggy bag, you can bring by for me. No, I'm just kidding.
We'll have leftovers. Don't worry.
Talk to the catering guys.
Don't talk to the catering guys. But no, thank you so much, Jeremy, for calling in. I greatly appreciate it.
It's going to be a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody can join us, and thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Okay, so that sounds so much fun. Like, and the menu sounds delicious. As soon as he said mushroom and asparagus risotto, I was in. I was like, okay, I'm there. I need it.
I say I love risotto, and we're going to get that full menu up on all of our social media and on the website, so people can kind of take a look and see what we'll be serving. So.
Yeah, anything to do with shrimp too. I love shrimp. Or yeah. I'm just like, food's good. Food in general. So, what do you do a little bit with film? What are you thinking?
Oh my gosh, it's awesome! It's awesome to hear an actor's life outside of that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like you see, especially him on a show that many of us grew up watching.
Yep.
Then you forget like, oh yeah, they're real people. They have actual interest outside of that. And that is their job. Like we watch it, but and plus it's so fun seeing all these people come to Bedford. Like it's just a great thing to hear him say, oh, I fell in love with the festival here and that Bedford has one and that he liked it and is coming back. So it's just wonderful all the way around.
Yeah,
And
I knew I'd seen him before here in pictures and things, so I was pretty positive I was
that's
right.
amazing.
I was waiting for him to be like, "No, I've never been here." Like,
where is that at? No, it's fantastic. I think it's wonderful. I've only done 2 little festivals, and one of them was I don't know, it was like a 48-hour film festival where you had to make it in a couple of hours.
I've done one of those. Those are a lot of fun.
A lot of stress, right? Like a lot of fun too. But
a lot of staying up all night editing.
Yes, yes. But I think to put a film festival on is a ton of work. I know that you have to, you watch a ton of stuff, like, make sure everything kind of fits in the right theme, and then you've got people that are coming in from out of town like this. So it's a huge accomplishment and a great thing for Bedford again. So this is wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So y'all will be at the Bauer Center for the Arts. So I would like to, quick plug for the Bauer Center because I really see, and we've had Susan Martin on the show a couple of times talking about the different things that they do there. And it's just a great community hub for us here in Bedford.
Yeah, they're so great. That was actually the very first year that we did it. We did it at the Bauer Center, and then, like I said, we took a few years off, and then or not off. We actually just did like an online program, and then last year we were in person, but it was much more just kind of pared down. We were kind of getting back into it, and so we were thrilled to be back at the Bauer Center this year. And I'm always like looking through their website. They have so many really cool classes, and I'm getting my nephew enrolled in their camp because I was like looking at some of the stuff they do, and I'm like, okay, you know what? He needs some activities this summer. So their programming's so great.
Yeah, they have so many, and that's why I think a film, a film aspect is great, because I think when you think of art, so many kids have different talents in different areas of art. It's not all, some people like theater, some like to draw, some like clay, some like, I go in there, there's always something new and different to see with all their different art programs. And so having the film aspect to it, I think, is just another kind of layer to what they do that makes the Bauer Center so awesome.
Yeah, and I think especially, with kids, it's like they can be so, visually creative, and that's what filmmaking is about. And, I've hosted a few 16 millimeter workshops for kids, and that's always really fun, getting like the Bolex cameras and letting kids kind of like play with like actual film as well. And a lot of the stuff we do, like we'll show them how to do things on like iPhones and DSLRs, because they're so much more accessible. But I do think there's also something to kind of learning some of these old school techniques, because it really like reinforces a lot of like the visual creativity of like, how do you frame something, what's important in this story, what can you see through the lens. And so I'd love to do a workshop like that. And then also so many kids, even my nephew who I mentioned, he's so great at he draws, and he's an amazing artist. And so I'd really love to do like an animation or a stop motion workshop as well, because I think with what they're already doing there, some of their art classes and stuff, some of those kids would be so amazing at animation and stop motion films.
Well, I am absolutely not talented when it comes to art in any way, shape, or form. So,
see, I don't know if that's true. I think everyone is in some way. Now, maybe not. Like, I cannot draw to save my life. Like when I storyboard my films, I do stick figures, and then I go and do like a 3D render, because I'm like, I cannot draw anything. So
I did act when I was younger. I was in plays in Lynchburg. There's a place called Folly Stick Theater, and I was in plays. It's now the Renaissance Theater, but I was in plays every single winter, fall, spring. So anyway,
so you're very creative. Yeah. That is an art form.
I talk a lot if you call that art form.
It is.
and speaking of talking, so we have Max Adler on the phone with us, and he's coming down for the film festival as well. So good afternoon, Max. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for having me, and I'm so very excited to make my first appearance in Bedford. I heard it's a beautiful town,
Oh,
so
you're
yeah,
gonna
I'm
love it.
excited to be there very soon.
Yes, you're gonna love it. You're gonna want to stay here. No, but
I think I will. I think it'll be. Yeah, it seems like a very peaceful, awesome, beautiful, scenic place with great people. So yeah,
it
I might
is.
find it tough to leave. Yeah.
It is. So tell us a little bit about kind of, why you're coming down for the Bedford Film Festival and, what you're going to be doing here this weekend.
Oh, well, a few reasons, I guess. It's like a threefold deal. First of all, Jeremy Miller and I have gotten close over this past year, and we're working on a project together, kind of based on some crazy things that have happened in his life and friendships, and developing a movie out of it that I'll be producing. And so I know he's
Okay.
been embedded with Laura from the festival and the city of Bedford for quite a bit, and he's doing a cooking class there. And so on his recommendation, I had to come check out the town and be there to support this incredible film festival. And then, yeah, after hearing about it, I've done many independent films from all sides. Acting, producing, directing. And I just know how hard it is to get them made, to get them done, to get them seen, to have an audience, appreciate them and watch them in a theater. So anything I could do to, lend my name and help and support independent filmmakers, especially locally, especially, who don't have gigantic names in their films that, get to go to Sundance and all the big festivals,
Hmm.
get seen and get exposure and hopefully, change their career and change their life. I'm all about it. So yeah, I think it's an amazing venture.
So I didn't really even think about it like that. And I love that you mentioned that, a lot of these, there's a lot of people that submit films to different places that they're just trying to get that exposure. You're right. And having people that come out and advocate for them is really important to get them where, potentially they're becoming, bigger in the industry.
Totally. Look, it's definitely one of the most competitive industries and fields anybody could go into, and especially when you're independent, you're kind of just all by yourself, and it's just I don't know, some people just don't realize how hard it is, next to impossible, just to get any, from a script to raise the money, to get a crew, to get locations, to get wardrobe, to get makeup, to get everything to work out and to film it, and then there's money to edit it and do the sound and the color, and then have somebody maybe see it that maybe lets you do your next project. It
Hmm.
really is just such an uphill battle. And so, yeah, I mean, I applaud anyone who goes after it and goes for it and can kind of, corral the troops to do it with them. And then, yeah, to help them get it out there. And, it's like a dream come true to sit in the theater and watch your final product, that's finished and all the years and blood, sweat and tears and money, you put
Hmm.
into it. And then, and have people talk about it and hopefully, yeah, give the exposure they need so that they can keep doing their art. So I'll be there, yeah, just doing that, kind of spreading the word and putting things on social media, just kind of getting that out there about the festival, about the filmmakers, and any kind of Q&A or panel that there is, or if anybody just wants to talk to me or pick my brain or whatever, I'll just kind of be there and be accessible. I think I'll be doing some pictures and signing some autographs and headshots. So I'll be around and looking forward to meeting everyone and talking shop and talking art.
Very cool. I'm definitely hoping to meet with you and get a picture. I'm gonna hopefully be there on Friday night or Saturday. But for those listening, I know there may be some you know I just kind of want to put out there. Most people would know you through Glee, right? Is that kind of
Yes, yeah.
or the Flash as well?
No. Glee is definitely. I
Glee.
mean, both. But yeah, Glee as the slushy throwing bully. Who kisses Kurt in the locker room, and that's a pretty big one. So yeah, that's
Yes.
probably the biggest show. But yeah, the
Can I just say I
Flash,
loved that
Switched
episode
at
though. I
Birth.
was a big Glee fan. I'm not gonna lie. I loved
Oh,
Glee.
awesome! Thank you,
I
thank you.
love
I love
Glee.
being on it, and I loved playing that part at that time in the world. It was again just seeing how important media can be and like the lives we changed or saved. Just through that show is pretty powerful. So yeah, that Switched to Birth was cool. The
Yep.
Flash, I did Trial of the Chicago 7, Sully, a bunch of things. Been around.
So I know with After Glee though, you do a lot with like activism with different things. I know you're doing a lot with like the writer's strike and stuff right now. Um, do you have anything you can say about any of like those roles that you've been playing as well, kind of outside of just the actor role, but
Sure. I mean, well, yeah, a big thing I work with GLAD and the Trevor Project, which is basically just suicide prevention, especially focused on the LGBTQ plus youth and people that were and are having issues with bullying and cyberbullying, just for being who they are, and talking to them and outreaching and preventing as much of that as possible, and making them realize whoever is bullying them or causing them harm usually has issues within themselves, and it's often not about them, it's about the person doing the bullying, so kind of hitting that message home. But I also work with the Muscular Dystrophy Association, because my mom and my grandma both had it and have suffered from it and passed. And so I'm a big advocate of just explaining to people what that is and what that does to families. And I'm like hosting a big walk. It's called a walk and roll, so anybody can walk, or if they have wheelchairs, we'd do a big lap around the park and raise money and raise awareness, to try to find a treatment or a cure for that. And then there's the strike happening now, which I'm just one of thousands kind of out there on the streets, holding signs and kind of making our voices heard. But yeah, that's basically just a fight in a way for humanity. So we don't get replaced by machines and computers and AI, which look like the technology is awesome, but if we're not careful and we don't draw a line in the sand, we're all about to be replaced, because we've seen scenes and opening credits made from AI, and scripts made from AI. And so years from now, I mean, or months, who knows, we could all be fighting for our livelihood. And in addition to that, the wages have gone down and residuals have gone down. And it's just not really fair considering the profit that these companies are making, and still considering streaming like this new experimental, media, which has now kind of become the mainstream. So just kind of protecting our right to live and exist and work as artists, and get some fair respect, I guess, and wages for the work that we do and put out into the world.
Well, I think that's really important too, because
I was going to add to that. I think, and this is Angelique from the Bedford Film Festival. I just wanted to add, I mean, I think there's been a lot of misunderstandings about what the strike is, because people think, Hollywood writers make thousands and millions, all these crazy amounts of money. And it's like, that's not true. Writers on, maybe network sitcoms or network dramas used to make, a really decent wage, but that's not the case anymore. I mean, there are writers that will get their residual checks for something that, made the studio millions and millions of dollars, and they'll get a 4-cent residual check. And, so it's like, besides their initial pay, which has gone significantly down in the last even just 10 years, really since the rise of streaming, but they're making pennies on the dollar of what they used to make. And especially if you live in Los Angeles, New York, Toronto, places where like a lot of filming happens, they're not making a living wage. They're literally not making enough to even afford an apartment there. So I just want to clear up some of that misinformation of, I think the studios are really good at being like, look at how much money these people are making. And it's like, that hasn't been the case for 20 years. So it's really important, like you said, they're drawing a line in the sand to be really raising awareness for this, so that it's in the future, it's, they know that they can't keep just lowering and lowering the pay. So, and for all industries.
Thank you. That's a great point, actually. Yeah, because when I brought that up, sometimes outside of people in the industry, they point to Scarlett Johansson or something. I'm like, well, yeah, but that's one very rare case of millions of dollars. But even I can make it my case, for example, when I shot Glee. It's there were residuals. So in between work, the show would re-air on network TV when there was commercials and, ads. And so they purchase those ads from the network. And then, we get those monies because it's our faces and our image being shown. And it allows us to get pension, to qualify for insurance for our families, to pay rent, to put our kids through school. But that goes away with streaming, because you basically just get a one-time buyout. So even though it's running for months or years, you never ever see any of the residuals that we saw with network TV. And also there's probably 8 episodes in a season versus 21. So your money goes down there. And right, the daily rate, is just lower than it was 10 years ago, but inflation is obviously going up. And I do know, tons of writers that cannot afford an apartment, in a crappy part of town in LA. And it's just getting harder and harder. And you're right. And the writers back in the day used to have like a team of 10 to 12 writers that would be on for pre-production and post-production. It would be like 10 months of the year of work. And now it's like they get brought on to do like an episode. They get like a low daily minimum rate to do that episode, and then they're done. And then they're back kind of to the breadlines hunting for the next gig. And it's so hard to even get those gigs. So yes, it's kind of become like a gig working thing instead of a career. And it's kind of wiping out like that middle class, journeyman writer or actor. And it's just kind of making stars or everyone else is broke,
See, I think that's what I love about being able to talk to people and like, you learn something new all the time, because I honestly believed exactly what you just kind of debunked, is that I thought every time somebody came on TV, like you got a residual every single time something was played on TV, and that's not the case. And see, for those people sitting back going, oh my gosh, look at all the money he must be making. It's not really the case. So I think that's kind of important to point out.
Just so I could talk to, myself, because I don't want to talk about other people. But for me, like Trial of the Chicago 7 was a pretty big movie that, went on Netflix. And so with Netflix, for example, they give you a one-time payment, like, here's your check for the job. And then like, that's it. And, cool. Like it's great. But the wages are very, very low, lower than it would be on network TV. And then, right, every time it gets played or every time someone watches it, and when you see all those numbers, like, oh, it was watched, such and such million times, like that's great for Netflix. But us as the writers or the crew or the actors, like never see any of that money besides like the initial day we worked, where it used to be different, right? Because they kind of pay you less than what you're really worth in the beginning. The agreement was like, oh, well, as it airs and as it spreads to different countries and more money comes in, you'll get your money then. But now, not only are we getting less up front, we never see any of the money, as it continues to air. So that's basically what the strike is about. Is being able to survive by doing this.
Awesome. Well, thanks for explaining that to me, because I had no clue, and I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Thanks for being open and listening, because I do hear, I get it. Like the perception is like everyone's just, driving around Lamborghinis and living in houses in the hills. But no, I mean, most people I know are struggling to pay rent or, groceries or put a kid through school. And it's like, we're scared and fearful, especially now with no opportunities to work and nothing filming. There's no income, which is very scary and, precarious situation to be in. And again, beyond even the money, it's the AI battle, which the studios are kind of saying that they're open to just, having a script be written by AI with like one, writer that kind of goes over it at the end. And it's right there is just cutting, 9 writers from the writer's room. And so it's just dwindling opportunities for everybody.
Well, Max, thank you for calling in and talking with us. We are really excited I'm really excited to be able to come meet you this weekend. And I'm really glad to have you come to Bedford and see what our town has to offer. And really look forward to it. So thank you for joining us today.
You're very welcome. I'm excited to meet you. I'm excited to be in Bedford, and excited to meet everyone. So please, if you see me, come say hi, and
definitely
let's chat. Yeah, great.
All right, thank you so much, and we'll see you this weekend or next weekend.
Next weekend.
I'm getting excited because I'm leaving. Look, I'm leaving for the beach. My brain is in beach mode already, sort of. So but I'll see you next weekend.
July 1st.
Enjoy. I'll see you next weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys very much.
Bye.
Thanks.
So, good. Our train decided to come through in between callers, which is nice. We get our intermittent train that likes to visit us. But so that's some crazy stuff to hear, because you don't think about that when you're thinking about the films and the different pieces to filmmaking. And, I guess, I just sit back and go, oh, they must have all this money and they're, living the high life in LA or New York. And it's not always like that.
I was going to say, I can't say which show, but I have a friend who writes for a very, very popular show. And she was literally just telling me that, the lease on her apartment is renewing and it's going up $100. And the show she's on was like, oh, actually, we just cut it from 10 episodes to 8 episodes. And you have to sign an exclusive contract, so she can't work with another network for the entire year. but she's only doing 8 episodes on a show. And so she literally has to like move apartments. And this is all pre-strike. This is a couple months ago, but she's like move apartments because with lowering the pay, lowering the amount of episodes, and then with the exclusive contracts that you have to sign, not being able to work at any other, it's crazy. So I think there's so much misinformation about how much writers are making now. Because like I said, it used to be maybe 20 years ago, it was totally different. And I think that's stuck in a lot of people's mind where now LA and New York and Toronto, it's more of like a gig economy. So where, like he said, it used to be a career, that's just what you did full time, a 9 to 5. You'd go into the office and write, and then, and that would be that.
It reminds me of okay. Y'all probably even watch this, and I don't watch this by myself. Okay, so I'm just put that out there first before I say this. I have a 12-year-old, I have an 11-year-old. Sorry, that's getting ready to be 12, but she loves Fuller House. Have you ever streamed it on Netflix, Fuller House?
I have not. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for probably nobody here has, but there's this one episode where Stephanie. Did you ever watch Full House when it came out?
Yeah,
okay,
Full
so
House,
I just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's this one part where like Stephanie, she's a singer, and so she had one of her songs played in a movie, and she gets a check in the mail, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I'm getting my residual check from like all the streaming and whatever," and she opens it, and it's like all these streams and down. She got like 64 cents, and she's so bummed.
Yeah.
But now that kind of puts it in perspective because, on the show, I just thought I was like, oh, they're just being funny, but it's probably just really true. That's what it's like.
Literally. And sometimes I think some of the jokes, like during the strike, writers and actors as well have been putting on social media, like some of their residual checks. And sometimes it's so silly seeing like, it'll be like 0.0004. So you're getting like, less than a cent. It's like literally under a cent that you're getting for your residual. And it's like, why is it a check for that? The paper they printed it on literally costs more than what the residual is. It's like, don't even send the statement. You wasted more on the stamp.
Right. So you have we were talking about the film festival, and the very last thing being shown is Back to the Future. So we do have Claudia Wells on the phone with us. And
speaking of the third one, the train.
The train. Oh yeah, the third Back to the Future has the train in it. But yeah. So hey, Claudia, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So we're our studio is right next to a train track, so we have some a lovely train coming through right now. But there we go.
No problem.
So
that's funny. I just heard a little bit about the ritual, and whenever I open an envelope of residual, it's either like 2 cents or 2,000. I never know what I'm going to open. I have so many that are under 6 cents. It's not even funny.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we were just kind of talking about. I was telling them I had watched the Fuller House episode with Stephanie where she got like just a very little bit of amount. I didn't realize that was really happening.
Absolutely. I've got a drawer of them. It's so funny.
Now you're going to be here you're going to be leading off the Back to the Future film.
Yes, I am. And the thing about the Bedford Film Festival, it's a nonprofit community art program, and it celebrates and supports local filmmakers, which is so fabulous. So they share their own unique stories. And because of their storytelling, they get to be empowered to inspire and the power of TikTok. This festival is so great is it showcases diversity in film, and it encourages creativity, expression, and exploration of meaningful narratives that resonate with society. And what they strive to do is promote the importance of storytelling and truly its transformative impact on the entire community.
So, I think I'm when I saw that you were coming, of course, I was really excited because, I grew up watching Back to the Future, and, I thought to myself like, wow, she's coming here to little old Bedford. But I love that you're coming here for such a great reason.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm so excited. The first thing I thought of is It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
I was like, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I can see that. Yes, we are. I think that, Bedford is one of those kind of just hidden gems in between two kind of larger cities in our area. But, it's kind of that place you want to be at when you just want to come home from work and relax, and you're just in the town that you can kind of do that in.
Oh man, I would love to live in a place like that.
See, I'm trying to recruit all of you. Just come to
One
live
day
here
I
in
might.
Bedford.
Yeah, no, everyone who lives there, enjoy every moment of it because it's that's an iconic town. It's a famous town that makes everybody happy, in my opinion.
So being involved in the Bedford Film Festival, is that something that's kind of like, kind of close, like that you kind of near and dear to what you want to do is promoting that nonprofit and, promoting small filmmakers in our area?
Absolutely. That's very special to my heart. And the thing is, people work so hard to fulfill their dreams, and so many people do have the dream of making a film. So the fact that we've got a nonprofit organization honoring them and highlighting them and giving them a possible future in filmmaking is just a spectacular endeavor. So I want anything to do with that.
Now, is this your first year working with the Bedford Film Festival?
It's my first year I'm able to show up. Yes.
Okay. Great. Well, I know everyone is looking forward to having you there, and I know you're going to be doing signing some autographs. Are you doing that
Yes.
before or after?
Before.
I know I'm introducing Back to the Future, and I'm not sure when my autograph session is, but I'll be bringing Back to the Future photos and clock tower flyers. The flyer in the movie, I have the original flyer. And what I do is I sign the back just like I did for Marty in the movie because it was by handwriting. So
Okay.
it's super fun. I get to say I love you and 555-4823 to the whole wide world all the time.
That's amazing.
I know it's fun. It's so much fun. I'm really honored and grateful to have been invited to be a part of this.
Well, we are so glad you're able to call in and talk with us about it. And join us here next weekend and, introduce the film. I like I said, I feel like Back to the Future is one of those classics that, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
Yes.
And, I'm gonna put it out there, and people may think I'm, say what, that's just how I feel. I'm not a big fan of sequels. So, Back to the Future is like the Back to the Future. Like there's no other Back to the Future. So I just I argue with my daughter about that all the time. I was like, I barely ever find a movie that I really love the sequel so much that, but, so it's really great to have you coming out and supporting, this film festival and helping them to raise money for the, projects they want to do here in Bedford for film for kids. I think that's amazing.
I love the idea, and I love the project of what Bedford Film Festival does. And there's heart involved, and that makes everything much better all the time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for calling in and talking with us today. And we look forward to seeing you next weekend as well. And being able to come and watch Back to the Future on the screen and hear you introduce it.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it very, very much.
Well, you have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much.
All right. God bless you. Thank
Yes.
you. I look forward to being there.
Yes, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
So, Angelique, tell us, how can people get tickets? What are those links that we were talking about? And we were looking at doing a ticket giveaway as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can purchase tickets by going to bedfordfilmfest.com and clicking right on the homepage. It says Get Your Tickets Here, and you can click there, and it will have all the different events and all of those tickets. Also on our Instagram at Bedford Film Fest, you can click on the link in our bio, and tickets are there as well. And then we would like to give away 2 tickets. So I don't know. I think it'd be fun, especially because of Back to the Future, to maybe we'll do it as like maybe a trivia question.
Sure.
So we can ask a question, and then the first person to just DM us. You can DM Bedford Film Fest either on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere, and we will see it. They're all on my phone.
Hold on, make it my note. I'm just kidding.
So let's see. I think a good one, because I'm trying to think of something like that's hard from Back to the Future, because I don't know, I at least know my brothers have seen that movie like 5-10 times. So
yeah.
So in the first movie, Marty McFly has a band that he is in. What is the name of the band that Marty McFly is in the first film?
Okay.
So
Not the name of the band he plays with at the end, right? The one
no.
he is
the one he
physically
is
in
They
at the
say
beginning.
they say it
Okay.
a couple of times. So
Yep.
the first person to DM us, you can. Instagram would probably be the quickest, but we're on Facebook as well, and we're on Instagram at Bedford Film Fest.
Awesome.
And the first person who DMs us, we will let you know if you get it right. You get the two tickets.
Awesome.
And we'd love to see everyone there. And I think I'm pretty sure all the info, is all on our website, right on the homepage. And that's bedfordfilmfest.com.
Thank you so much, Angelique, for coming in, talking with us about the festival, coordinating the callers, those calling in and letting us speak with them too. So
Thank you so much.
I greatly
for having
appreciate
us.
it. And I'm looking forward to next weekend.
I'd also like to thank, really quick, just Peaks of Otter Winery. They have donated wine that we will be selling during the film fest. So we want to just definitely give a shout out to them. We love them. They've been so helpful and so generous with the festival. And also Beals Brewery. We are hosting our trivia night there, and there's so many people that have been helpful. But we really just want to thank Peaks of Otter Winery and Beals Brewery.
Perfect. Thank you again. I really appreciate you coming in, and I'm excited to come out and enjoy the festivities next weekend and kind of learn more about the film festival as it continues. Because this being its 5th year, I want it to continue to grow in our area, and I think it's great. What you guys are doing.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
So we are actually going to go a little bit over our time today because we've had so many wonderful, friends call in, and we also have another set of guests that have come in on the show today, and talk with them a little bit about what they are doing in our area. And I always love talking to Bradley. How are you, Bradley, with Perimeter Roofing?
I'm doing really well. I kind of crashed the party.
No, you didn't. I don't know what happened. So, all right, full disclosure, I got a new phone, right? And I don't know if, like, in the case of swapping stuff over, part of my calendar, maybe stuff fell off of it. I don't know, but you didn't crash the party. I always like to talk to you. So anytime you want to come hang out with me on Talk Local to Me, you're fine.
Yeah.
So, you have a friend.
Yeah, I brought a friend with me, Zach Gibson. He is one of our newer sales reps.
Okay.
But
Hi, Zach.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I also wanted to shout out the Bedford Film Festival. Shout out to them. Shout out to everything that they're doing. That sounds amazing. That sounds fun. Sounds like a great time for families and people to get out and enjoy what Bedford has to offer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, it's kind of like I said earlier. I feel like so many people, think like, oh, there's just nothing going on. And you just got to look for it. I mean, that's the thing. People you need to be active in the community because stuff isn't just going to, come to you. So yeah. But you also, I mean, I know we're going to talk about Perimeter Roofing, but you also do quite a few things. You've got the disc golf stuff going on, and are we talking about that a little bit?
Yeah, we might dive into that a little bit. I know that last year we did the fall wellness fling, which was really, really good. It had a huge turnout, even though there was that tropical storm that came through.
Yeah, it was like a hurricane.
Yeah, we had everyone still show up, and it was a fully sold out event. And so shout out to all the people that were able to be a part of that.
Can I just say how crazy I felt it was that not only did we have everyone show up, like we had random people just show up, and they were like, hey, can we play? Because some other tournament got canceled, and we're still sitting there. It's like pouring down rain. I'm looking at like these people like, are y'all kidding me right now?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be at home in my bed, sleeping where it's warm, and y'all are out here trying to play disc golf in the rain.
Disc golf shows out.
Yeah.
The people are excited about it. We're going to give it to them. So this year we're looking to do another one.
Okay.
And I know we had mentioned doing a 2-round kind of 2-day thing where we would have on the first day companies come out and do like a best shot captain's choice kind of event. And then the second day would be a Saturday where we did a C tier. Yeah. So we have people come out and compete and try to take that W home. And
I'm glad you said it was a C tier because that's what I put on the application yesterday.
perfect.
I'm glad I did it right.
Yeah.
So, but let's chat. Let's chat about perimeter roofing because I know that's what you guys are here today. Unless y'all are just here for Zach, you do disc golf too?
No, I don't. Do
Okay,
any,
cool.
just,
I don't do that either.
Yeah, we just came in just to hang out.
Okay, well, I mean that's fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to first just shout you out.
Go for it.
Thank you so much, Heather, for having us here. And even though we crashed the party,
I'm bringing him every week.
You're so lovely, and
Yeah.
the CVABC, you guys look out for us and everyone in our community. And so if you're not signed up, please sign up. Do
Yeah.
yourself a big old huge favor and get yourself plugged in, because the resources that Heather has and her team has, I mean, it is so worth it. It is so worth it to be a member. And I also want to say thanks for having us out here. I think I already said that, but I think it's our third time coming on here. It's been a while, so we're happy to have partnered with you for a long time. And then I want to also shout out all the fathers.
Mm-hmm.
Father's Day just passed.
Yes.
I'm a father myself. Zach, I believe, is a father. So
Here.
yeah, he has one on the way.
Congrats.
Which is exciting. But thank you to all the fathers who have been present and active in their families' lives and in this community. Life is better with present fathers.
I just hope if Mike Norfield's listening, because I know he was earlier, I don't know if he still is, but I would like you to open every show now with that whole, like, Heather is lovely and Heather is wonderful as my co-host. He's not here with me today, but just Mike, go ahead and put that in your back pocket and know that that's what I'm going to need to have you say every single week now. So cool. Anyway,
yeah.
So tell us what's perimeter roofing got going on now?
Yeah. So I wanted to go over, for those who don't really know about us, just a brief history of kind of perimeter roofing.
Mm-hmm.
Just touch on it really briefly. So perimeter roofing was started by two brothers, Philip and Andrew, who are local to this community. And believe it or not, they actually started a few years back working with insurance claims, working on sleeper storms in the forest area, where they, I think in their first year of business, they did over $1 million with just insurance. And so fast forward to now, we offer a multitude of different trades and services. And, we offer everything from roofing, windows, siding, gutters, and just any type of home exterior project, whether it be, residential or commercial. And then I wanted to chat just a little bit about an issue that we ran into.
Okay.
So
what's the issue? Wait, did I do it?
You might have.
Oh, no. What is it?
So let me ask you, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about perimeter roofing?
Roofing?
Come on now. You got it right.
There you go. Okay. See,
ding, ding,
I'm
ding.
smart. So
here's the, I'll give you a hug after this. How about that? So here's the huge issue that we were having. We were having a problem where, perimeter roofing, it's like if you wanted to go with windows and you typed into Google, windows near me or window installer near me, who would you get? Window World.
Window World. Yeah, I was going to say Window World or
If you typed in gutters near me, who would you get? Brothers Gutters or something. Yeah. Another company like that. And shout out to them, keep doing what you're doing. We're going to try to take, some of those.
Keep doing windows and gutters.
We're going to try to take some of those leads from you. But the issue that we were having.
Honest.
Yeah. The issue that we were having was that we are more than just roofing. We want to really capitalize on, giving quality services and quality products to those folks that are looking for it. The issues that we were having is when you typed in those other trades, we weren't coming up because people primarily think perimeter roofing. Even though we put it on billboards, we put it on every single thing. It's like, oh, you guys do windows and gutters too, or siding too, and I'm like, hey, come on now, like I made sure to put it everywhere. But so to kind of combat that, we have this great opportunity to rework the business and split it up into different divisions.
Gotcha.
And you know where that stemmed from?
Me.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
I'm dead serious.
Seriously?
100% serious.
Oh, really?
So I was at a lunch and learn.
Okay.
Sitting there in a lunch and learn, listening to one of the speakers. And this revelation came over me.
Okay.
We are missing so much opportunity, so many leads, so many clicks, so many, opportunities to do business with people because our name is just perimeter roofing.
So that's kind of similar to what I did with Lynchburg Retail Merchants Association, because that's what we were originally.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at that, only retail businesses thought they could be a part of it when we were necessarily every business.
Yeah.
And so that's why we rebranded.
Yeah. So we switched our gears and we started to think, okay, well, how can we catch these other, fish kind of swimming through the net? And so we decided to launch publicly recently perimeter gutters, perimeter siding, perimeter windows, and perimeter solar.
But they're all under the roof of perimeter roofing. So look at me.
Yeah, all under one roof.
I'm your mark. Yeah, dun dun dun. See, I'm good.
And so that's something new that we're offering to homeowners. And so I wanted to introduce Zach Gibson to kind of talk about perimeter solar and the exciting news that we have of just being able to offer solar to our homeowners. And so Zach is our insurance and solar rep, like I had mentioned. He's been working for us for a few months now, and he's already proven himself to be a genius and a superstar at the same time.
Wow, that's a lot of praise over there.
I know. I mean, I'm starting to get hot.
He's got his rock star energy drink over there.
I told you, he's a superstar.
No pressure.
Boom. So tell us how it feels to be a rock star over there.
Oh, well, I mean, given the opportunity, that's, I was given the chance to shine, and, here I am heading for the stars.
Come on.
Yeah.
So, Zach, let me ask you, what was your first exposure to solar panels? Like, when did you first hear about solar or people going solar, and what was going through your mind when people were talking about it?
So actually it really just started when, about a month with my start with Perimeter, when we had some people come in with, some solar proposals, and they started talking about, hey, this is where solar is going. Cause I had actually originally looked into solar about a year or two ago, and, the technology and everything that was there just didn't really seem feasible. I mean, they were asking for astronomical amounts of money, and then at the same time you were only saving 60 to 80%, 60 to 80% production is what I'm trying to say for your panels, but you were paying this amount of money. It's like, why would you do this?
Yeah.
Now it's actually gotten to the point to where the technology is there to where we can actually offer 100%, efficiency for the panels.
That's awesome.
So the electricity that you are actually getting from your utility, usually it's AEP. Is it still the same here? Is
it varies. AEP, some are on South Side, some are on Town Electric. So it kind of just depends in Bedford County where you're at. But
yeah, because I know that Central Virginia Electric Cooperation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know that they're somewhere in this area.
Somebody.
Yeah. South Side Electric Corporation is. I know.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I use AEP, so
Sweet.
It just kind of depends.
Right.
So I'm gonna go over a quick little segment that I came up with. I named it the top 10 common solar misconceptions. So
Okay.
we're gonna talk about it a little bit just to break it down. So misconception number 1 is solar panels are too expensive for the average homeowner.
I hear that.
Yeah, and it actually isn't. So what I was saying before with the 100% efficiency, I'm actually getting panels on my roof as well. And, my electric bill runs anywhere between $150 to, $300, just depending on, the season.
Yeah.
So I'm at actually over 100. I'm at 105% efficiency for my panels, and I'm paying presently $203 a month. And that's continuous. That'll never change.
Never change. You hear that?
Yeah, I like that. You don't have to worry about getting on one of those payment plans, or how they do those things where you pay so much, but at the end of the year, they hit you with this large bill because you haven't actually paid the right amount. So anyway.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going to be static for the duration of what I'm paying, and I'm actually producing my own energy, and then that electricity that I actually have is also going back into the grid on top of, AEP is actually crediting me for the electricity that I'm not using.
Okay. That's and they do, you have people, I was trying to look up like, do y'all still do like there's rebates and things people can get to help with the cost of solar?
Yes, there are incentives. Actually, one is with the federal government. So you get right now it's 30%, and it's valid until 2034, and that's for the total installation of your solar panels. So say for a reference that you pay, 50,000, or you get a loan for $50,000, right? Which is roughly about what mine was. So I get 30% of that as a federal tax credit. So that's in the ballpark of about 11, 12,000.
Okay.
And then
That's a big chunk of cheese right there.
Oh yeah. So with that, that's incentive one. And if you actually look into it, you can actually put that into your tax deduct, or since it's a tax credit, at the end of the year, depending on how much money you're actually putting into the federal government, that's how much you'll actually get back. So if you end up putting $4,000, I know I said 12,000, but if you get $4,000 this year, then you'll get that 4,000 back. Okay. And then the 8,000 that's left over can be rolled over into the next year's tax season. Now, I have heard that, I haven't seen anything written, but I have heard that it's supposed to be in effect for 5 years, but I've only read 2. So just to be a quote on that I know for fact that it is 2 years that you can actually roll it over.
Okay. That's good to know.
So the second misconception is that solar panels only work for sunny climates.
No, actually they work as long as you don't have shaded areas like trees or something else that where the panels are, then they will still produce even on cloudy days. And it's actually been documented that they can actually produce energy even with a full moon.
Wow. And I'm sure that when you guys come out to look at someone's property, you can tell them whether they have those shaded areas that would affect it.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Misconception 4 is that solar energy is not reliable and inconsistent.
No, so that's what I was saying before about the technology that has actually advanced. It is actually highly reliable, and actually the efficiency of them is good for minimum of 30 years. So they are actually degrading at a very low portion. So the panels that are out there right now degrade at 0.25%. So that's, 0.0025%, where they lose production every single year.
Okay.
So over 25 years, that would be a 7% loss of efficiency over 25 years. But they max out, from everything that I've read and everything that I've learned, at a portion of 80% efficiency. So as long as they're generating, they're going to keep going, and it'll be static at 80%.
Okay.
But that could take, if you're doing the math, 7%, you're talking 75 years.
Yeah.
To actually reach that 80% efficiency.
So will solar panels damage the roof?
No, so we are actually partnered with Power, and they actually have an amazing warranty. So the warranty that they have is up to 30 years for your panels, and it's also an umbrella warranty, which means that anything that is beneath of their panels, they warranty. The penetrations, your roof, any of the panels that, if for any reason, say a storm comes through, tree falls down, hits the panels, well, everything is covered. So that is one of the portions that is really awesome about their warranty. The other thing about that is, like I was saying before, 10 years goes by, you have to use that warranty. Well, once everything is fixed, reinstalled, your warranty starts over. It starts back at 30 years.
Very cool.
Talk about the misconception about how going solar means completely disconnecting from the electrical grid, and then touch a little bit on that one-to-one net metering.
Okay. So no,
in layman's terms for my little brain to understand.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I being a little too technical with things? Or?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Keep it rolling.
All right. So the portion with you're going completely off the grid is actually a misconception, because you actually have to be wired into your utility company. There isn't an allowance that states that you can, just produce your own energy, and then you actually can just be completely off the grid. So like with mine, where I'm actually producing the 100%, you could think, well, why don't I just get off the grid? Well, you technically can't. Now, the difference is that if you decide to go with battery backups, say that, like me, I don't actually have a propane generator or any kind of generator whatsoever to power my house when the power goes out.
Right.
But they do actually have the batteries. And where that works is that there's actually an inversion switch. The inversion switch that actually is installed when you get batteries makes it to where the power goes out, the grid gets shut off. An AEP or any other utility does that for safety reasons for their linemen.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to make sure that there isn't any kind of DC power or any kind of DC power that's actually going through the lines to make sure that people are safe when they're working on the lines. When that switch gets flipped, your batteries kick on. Now, a lot of questions I'm asked about that is, well, how long do the batteries last? It's like, well, it depends on actually what you're using. And you'll actually have an app that actually can stipulate, hey, I want to use this. Maybe you just want to have your fridge on, or, maybe you want to run TV or certain sections of your house. You have the power to do that. I mean, you can switch around whatever you want.
That's cool.
On your panel. Yeah. I mean, so they change it to where you can actually invertedly from your smartphone just, hey, I want to turn this on, this on, this on. And you can do that. Now, with the batteries, the panels, when they get switched, are actually charging your batteries as the batteries are drawn or putting power into your house at the same time.
Okay.
So it's kind of a hard question to determine, well, how long do they last? Well, that's depending on how much you're using and also how much is your panels producing.
Okay.
I mean, so if it's a cloudy day, whatever. Now, the net metering that you were actually referring to, right now, Virginia is stipulating that until they reach 5% of commercial or residential solar production, meaning that when the grid is actually being produced by 5% solar, you get a net metering, which is at a 1-to-1 ratio. And that's where I was touching up before, saying that the kilowatts that I'm sending back in, I'm being credited for.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at a 1-to-1 ratio. Once it hits over 5%, until it hits 8%, then it goes to a 2-to-1. Now, what that is in layman's terms, meaning that 2 kilowatts that I'm actually sending back into the grid, then my power company gives me 1 kilowatt.
Okay.
So you actually have to produce double the amount of kilowatts in order to get credited your 1 kilowatt. But
when they raise it, correct? When they raise it,
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about an embarrassing story.
Sure. I like embarrassing stories.
Sweet.
It's not about me.
No, it's about me.
As long as it ain't about me, we're good.
So, I don't know if y'all remember, but this winter, I think it was during Christmas, the power went out everywhere in Lynchburg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was bad.
It was. I remember that.
It was bad. It was like negative what?
It was actually,
it was like,
was it Christmas Eve? No, it was the 23rd. It was December 23rd. I know. And the reason I know is because it went out in Bedford too.
Okay.
And I remember I didn't get to go with my husband to visit his family for Christmas because I had to stay home in case
they were
the power
frozen?
came back on.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had to be there. Yeah.
Were they frozen?
No.
Because I was.
I don't think so.
I was. It was like what? Wasn't it in the negatives
It wasn't
at night?
I'm up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm deep in the boonies, and I think at night it was around -3, but it was 20, 25 mile an hour
wind chills. Yeah.
The wind chill had to be, I don't know, -10, -15. It was brutal.
So Heather, listen to this. My power went out for I think at least 4 to 5 days.
Oh gosh, then that's a lot.
And I went into my house to try to, gather some things, and I was in pain. I mean, that's how cold it was in my house. Yes, I was wearing a jacket, multiple jackets, gloves, hat, scarf, extra socks, and I was still freezing my tail off. And so you're telling me that if I were to have had these solar panels on my house and the power were to go out like that because of that winter storm or whatever, I could have still had power?
With the battery backups, yes.
Dude. that to me is worth it.
Yeah. Well, my problem is that if something were to go out when my husband wasn't home, I have no clue how to work a generator.
Yeah.
it'd be a bad day because he has to do something where you plug it up to like the electrical box or something. I don't know what he does, but I definitely wouldn't be able to do it. So I'd just have to sit there and freeze until he got home and could do it for me. And no offense, women out there. I'm sure there are plenty of women who know how to do. I'm not trying to say women can't work generators before I get some kind of comment or text or phone call. I'm just saying this one right here cannot do it. So, it's always good to have a plan. I probably should learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Probably the smart thing to do, but
yeah,
not today. So, but yeah, that's some really good information.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are kind of looking at solar and have kind of gone along those misconceptions you talked about and are kind of, trying to make that decision whether to swap from, just a regular roof to the solar panels on there as well. So I think that's some really good information, and you laid it out really well, by the way. So good job, Rockstar. Just wanted to. So that's his new name. Whenever I see him, if I ever see him again, I'm just like, yeah, what's up, Rockstar?
I love that you can turn everything off on your phone.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was like, maybe I should not be involved in this conversation.
No, you're good.
No, please do.
But it's like, I love that because it's like, I have so many things. I forget to unplug them, and I know they're just sucking energy. And so it's like, if you can just turn them off, I bet just overall you're saving energy just by the smart home aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's that's really good to know. I need to invest in that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the thing that people, think about it in this facet, because actually since January of this year, the average household electricity bill went up by 9.3%.
I can believe it.
And that's what it's actually projected to do for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's not expected to go down. It's going to continue to increase. And the way that it's actually projected nationally is actually an increase of 4%.
Wow.
So
that's a whole lot of cheddar.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, say, for instance, that, you two actually contacted us and said, hey, I'm interested in solar. When I actually show you the proposal, there actually is a diagram that shows, how much of a savings you're getting over the course of your loan and how much the cost of energy is actually going to be. But the misconception on that one is the fact that it's based on the national average, not the Virginia average.
Gotcha.
So it's going up by 4% as opposed to 9.3%. So if I remember correctly, AEPs went up from 14 cents a kilowatt up to 16.5 cents a kilowatt.
Well,
I'm also just thinking practically, when I'm driving to work and I have that fear of did I leave the hair, hair straightener on just in the bathroom? It's oh, wait, I could just check and turn off that outlet.
Yeah.
So, I won't burn down my house by accident.
That's pretty cool. I didn't even think about it that way. Not that I ever do anything with my hair because it's always in a ponytail.
At least it's not the oven.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, how can someone, if they're looking to get solar or roofing or gutters or siding or any of the different, pieces to perimeter roofing, how do they get a hold of you guys?
Yeah. So Zach, before I share about that, why would someone go solar with us versus another company?
Good question.
Well,
and you can make it brief and just hit on those little points.
Mainly for me, I honestly just want to ensure that I'm given the best product and the best, presentation forward. I have nothing against anyone deciding to go with anyone else. Just know that for me personally, if I'm contacting you, I'm here to actually do what's best for you. I want to make sure that you have the best product, that you're getting exactly what you want, that you know exactly what you're getting, that there is nothing that is being misconstrued. I will be 100%, hand to God honest with you about what you're getting. And I will do everything in my power to ensure that you're getting that.
With power.
Well, with perimeter and partner with power.
And partner with power.
Very
That's
good.
awesome.
Very cool. Yeah. Awesome. So,
so if they want to if they're interested in going solar with us, here's what you need to do. You need to go to Perimeter Solar. No, perimetersolarva.com. That's perimetersolarva.com.
Okay.
And fill out our quick solar quiz. That'll help you, with some of those preliminary questions. And then our amazing, wonderful superstar genius, Zach, will be reaching out to get in touch with you. And also, if you're a previous customer, listen up, son. You'll get a $500 rebate if you go solar with us. That's only for our previous customers that have gotten work done with us before. We're giving you $500 once you sign up.
Very cool. Definite reason to call in.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you guys for showing up with us and talking about solar, because I think, again, you've really hit on some great stuff there, because I think a lot of people just, they hear different things from different people, and it's nice to kind of really, what's the word? Kind of really get from someone who knows what he's talking about, because obviously he very much does, because I enjoyed listening to him. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, he really knows what he's talking about. It's not just someone going, well, yeah, you should just get solar. So, but thank you for sharing all that information with us. And hey, guys, thanks for listening in today, for tuning in to Talk Local to Me special edition. We got to speak to some wonderful guests, and make sure you check out the Bedford Film Festival. Get your tickets, whether it's for the dinner, the film festival, all the things. Come out to Beals for the trivia night. And also, if you're looking to, I know it's summer, but if you're looking to get that solar in before the winter, call Perimeter Roofing and Solar and Gutters and Siding.